Hey, Bears News Fan Report crew, did you catch that buzz echoing through Halas Hall this morning? If you're feeling that electric jolt of anticipation, do yourself a favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to Bears News Fan Report because what we're about to unpack could rewrite the destiny of our defense. Imagine a defense that no longer flinches at 3rd and long, where opposing quarterbacks break into a sweat before the snap. Picture a front seven so ferocious that offensive coordinators circle Halas Field on their calendars, knowing every play could end in disaster. Sounds like a dream, right? But what if I told you that dream might be inching toward reality? What if the piece our pass rush has craved for years isn't a second-round rookie but a battle-hardened veteran who's already made his mark at the highest levels? Could this move transform our entire defensive identity? Is Ryan Poles ready to go all in and gamble on a proven game wrecker? Think back to last season, 68 sacks allowed, the worst mark in the entire NFL, a figure so alarming it almost feels like a statistic plucked from a tragic highlight reel. Our offense struggled to gain momentum because our line couldn't hold the pocket. Quarterbacks rushed throws, drives stalled, and our one-story defense looked more like a sieve than a fortress. General Manager Ryan Poles knew that remedying this would require more than tinkering around the edges. It demanded a seismic upgrade at the edge, someone who can both collapse the pocket from the outside and wreak havoc up the middle. Now, hear this. Rumors are swirling that Chicago has quietly pitched a trade package. Word is, a 2026 second round, pick plus a conditional mid-rounder, to pry loose one of the NFL's most sought-after edge rushers. Think about that for a second. A mid-second rounder in 26? That's currency that could land us dynamic playmakers on offense, future stars in coverage, or even an internal building block on the offensive line. Yet, Poles reportedly believes it's worth parting with because this veteran brings heat at a rate few can match. Before I name names, let's consider his resume. Over the past 2 seasons, he's racked up 26.5 sacks, proven his mettle on playoff fields, and earned Pro Bowl nods for his relentless motor. He's a master technician, using swift inside moves to uproot linemen and a punishing bull rush when straight power is required. His presence forces double teams, frees up teammates, and changes opponents' game plans before a down is even called. Isn't that the kind of terror we want inflicting panic at the quarterback position? Some insiders whisper that the Bengals, flush with draft capital, might be willing to make a deal, assuming, of course, that Chicago's offer can eclipse what other contenders are prepared to send. But here's where the suspense really kicks in. If talks stall, Ryan Poles is rumored to have fallback options, targets less glamorous but still capable of delivering pressure. That suggests the Bears brass is dead serious about upgrading the edge and won't settle for half measures. Does that sound like the mindset of a team content to tread water, or a squad on the cusp of a defensive renaissance? Okay, moment of truth. Let me introduce you to the man at the center of this whirlwind. Trey Hendrickson. Yes, that Trey Hendrickson, the veteran whose sack dance has become the stuff of highlight reels and whose name sends shivers through offensive lines. He's the player Chicago insiders believe can shoulder the burden of our pass rush, the one who might finally give our defense the teeth it's lacked. But this isn't the end of the tale. It's just the spark that lights the fuse. Will Trey Hendrickson don the navy and orange this fall, lining up across from Montez Sweat to form one of the league's most lethal duos? Or will negotiations falter, leaving us to wonder what if, as another contender snatches him away? The next chapters in this saga promise blockbuster drama, and you'd better believe we'll be here covering every twist. Stay locked in, because this roller coaster ride is only gaining speed. If you believe the Bears are on the verge of shaking the very earth beneath our opponent's feet, smash that like button and let's finish this saga together. Now, imagine a defense reborn, where every snap carries the promise of collision and chaos, a front line that snarls with confidence because it knows no one wants to be left unblocked when the most feared edge rusher in football storms off the line. That's the Chicago Bears we could be witnessing if Trey Hendrickson's cleats touch Halas Field this fall. Think about it. A duo so lethal that opposing quarterbacks keep a mental tally of Hendrickson's side before even calling a play, where Montez Sweat's brute force pairs seamlessly with Hendrickson's surgical precision, creating a 1-2 punch reminiscent of the monsters of the Midway's glory days under Buddy Ryan. It's a tantalizing vision, our defense transformed from tentative to terrifying, from a unit that surrendered more than 4 sacks per game, to one that dictates game flow and funnels every drive into pressure cooker territory. Delve deeper, and you see the stakes aren't just on paper. They're etched in the hearts of every Bears fan who's endured seasons of almost there moments, who remembers the sting of Donovan McNabb rolling free in 01, or the collective groan when Brett Favre carved us up with seeming ease. This move isn't merely about stats, it's about redemption, about reclaiming our identity as a franchise that built dynasties on fearsome defense. When Richard Dent and Kudu terrorized NFC quarterbacks in that Super Bowl run, the momentum wasn't just physical, it was psychological. Bringing in Hendrickson could ignite that same aura of invincibility, forcing rivals to prepare with trepidation, knowing that one slip-up across from him could end their championship dreams in an instant. Context matters. Last season's 68 sacks allowed didn't just expose weaknesses, it hamstrung our offense, turned road games into shootouts, and left our playmakers scrambling for air. Now, imagine trimming that number in half by week 8, watching Caleb Williams stand tall in the pocket as Hendrickson bull rushes tackles and slip steps to chase fleeing quarterbacks. Picture defensive coordinator Lou Spanos unleashing blitz packages, with the confidence that Hendrickson's presence will overwhelm any protection scheme. The ripple effect extends beyond the backfield. Linebackers toy with coverage assignments, safeties roam freer, and even special teams feel the surge of energy when the crowd roars every time our sideline erupts at a third down takedown. But let's confront the potential pitfalls, because the true drama lies in the balance of risk and reward. At 31, Hendrickson carries the mileage of countless highlight reel collisions. He's battled through nagging ankle tweaks and knee strains, and while his 14-sack campaign last year proved he still has gas in the tank, the grind of NFL seasons can expose even the toughest veterans. Will Chicago's medical staff keep him at peak performance? Can Ryan Poles and his front office wizards structure a contract that rewards production without burying us under dead cap landmines? Historically, teams that overcommit to aging pass rushers have found themselves hamstrung by cap casualties. Just ask the Raiders with Khalil Mack or the Cowboys with DeMarcus Ware. The Bears must thread that needle, ensuring Hendrickson's payday propels us forward rather than trapping us in a financial quagmire. Consider also our fierce NFC North rivals. Watching this drama unfold, Minnesota's rebooted defense under its new coordinator is no joke, and Green Bay's young pass rushers are eager to prove themselves in the limelight once more. Detroit's rebuilding offense could spring surprises in shootouts. Yet none of them can pan for gold in the same river of talent we'd open by adding Hendrickson next to Sweat. If Chicago pulls this off, we're not simply keeping pace, we're setting the tempo. The message would be crystal clear. The Bears are back, and we're here to dominate trenches across the league. As the sun sets on this offseason and training camp looms, every snap, every padded practice, every interview becomes part of the narrative. Will Hendrickson grace our locker room with his championship pedigree, sharing war stories from Pro Bowls and playoff hunts? Can he instill the mentality that separates contenders from pretenders, lifting a roster hungry for validation? The chess pieces are moving. The board is set. All that remains is for the clock to strike and for Ryan Poles to place the final trade call. If he does, history will remember this moment as the pivot, the instant when the Chicago Bears stopped rebuilding and started roaring. And if he doesn't, we'll endure yet another offseason of what if, haunted by the echoes of opportunity slipping away. Either way, the ripple effects of this decision will define our season, our culture, and perhaps our destiny as a franchise. So, Bears News Fan Report family, Lace up your jerseys, sharpen your claws, and get ready for the defining chapter of our resurgence, because when that edge rush hits, the city of Chicago will feel it in its bones. Go Bears!